My name is Alex Jackson, and I'm a photographer, explorer, and creator. On this YouTube channel, you'll find my comings and goings, adventures, and experiences as I explore all that North America has to offer. Boy, let me tell you, today has been insane. I have been on my feet all day long, just trying to keep up with everything that's going on, and apparently not doing a very good job. But anyway, I'm gonna go to Ray's place today, and I'm going to swap out my gears. So the deal is, right now I have 488s in my diffs, and I'm sitting on 33s, and my RPMs are revving way too high at highway speeds. So at like about 95 kilometers an hour, I'm at 2,900 RPM. I looked at the numbers for 2001 Tacoma, which my 5EZ came out of, and guys are saying that roughly around 100 kilometers they're revving at 2,200 RPM. So like I'm 800 RPM over what the engine should be revving at highway speeds, and this truck is mainly a highway truck, so I'm going through a lot of fuel, which has to change. So we're going to do that today. Let's go! that set for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back and start dipping.
Why does it never go smoothly?
Okay, so this truck is just kicking my ass right now. I have been dealing with driveline issues just time and time again. I can't seem to get it right. So what I did is I bought 4-cylinder diffs that have 410 gears in them, and then I bought these, which they are triple drilled flanges, 27 spline. And they're supposed to bolt up to a V6 drive shaft, which my truck has, but they don't. I'm a little bit frustrated right now. It just seems like every single time I take apart the driveline on this truck, I have nothing but issues. I'm really looking forward to it being over and done with, when I don't have to swap gears or drivelines or anything.
The next day.
Okay. How's it going, everybody? Alex here. It's the next day. Really don't want to be here today because I had hoped that this would be just a simple diff swap, but it's not. So I'll show you what the problem is. This is the pinion flange off of my rear diff. And if you're a Toyota guy and you know what I'm talking about, feel free to skip ahead. If you are not a Toyota person and you're about to do this, listen up, because it has caused me a lot of grief. So this is a V6 differential pinion flange. I think it's about 4.5 inches in diameter. The bolt pattern from here to here is like 2 3/4, something like that. This right here is a 4-cylinder pinion flange. First off, this is 29 spline, this is 27 spline. You can see that there's a significant difference in diameter. Also, the holes are smaller. This is a 7/16, I believe, and this is a 10 mil. This is the triple drilled pinion flange that I bought. It's trail gear. It's 27 spline, so it's supposed to go up to the 4-cylinder diff and allow me to mate up a V6 drive shaft. It doesn't. The bolt holes, all 4 bolt holes, do not align properly. So I have called the place that I purchased this from and asked if there's another specific one for me, and they said no. So what I plan to do is I'm going to fill these 2 holes, and then I'm going to grind it all down so it's nice and flat, and then re-drill the holes so that I can mate this up to my drive shaft. I could run all over the countryside trying to find the parts that I might need and want, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I have an off-year drive shaft yoke pattern on my drive shaft, and there's nothing that has been fabricated to meet my need. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright, goodbye. Goodbye, $56. Well, that should be all I need. Now I just gotta grind it down, make it all flush.
it's not bad at all.
So I've seemingly reached some kind of standstill. I'm trying to drill my third hole, but for some reason the drill bits will not cut. I've tried all different sizes and I think I hardened the steel somehow. I can't get through. There's just some days where building trucks is not on your side, and that's like pretty much 90% of the days for me. Just have to keep on keeping on. Gosh dang it. When building trucks, your mood can go from this to this really, really fast. I will show you why. So I've been trying to get the fourth hole to drill for a really long time, but unfortunately I have hardened the steel and I cannot get through with any drill bit. So I thought that maybe I would just try something out. That's my V6 flange that came off my truck. This is a 4-cylinder diff. This was a 27 spline pinion. So all I had to do was just take it off and put it on the other one. I mean, I'm happy now that I can drive away, but I really didn't have to go through all of this total bullshit to get here. Problem should be solved here in a moment. Ta-da! There we have it. Well, this makes me enormously happy that I don't have to monkey around with this anymore. At least the rear diff. We'll see how the front goes. Yay! Okay, so I just changed my gears and hopefully it goes well. I just filled up the diff with oil. We're gonna do a quick test to see what the RPM range is at, and then come back and change up the front. Okay, we're just gonna do a test here. Kilometers an hour. So I'm about 10 under on my speed, but at 100, I'm at just under 2,500 RPM. So I did a little bit better, not as good as I wanted, but it's a far better cruising speed. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with that result. I think I dropped my RPMs by probably about 600, which gives me a really, really nice cruising gear of about 2,400 RPM at 100 kilometers an hour. I know for a fact that if I keep my truck below 2,500 RPM, the fuel mileage is probably around 15, 16, I don't know, hopefully 17 miles per gallon, which, you know, is pretty reasonable for a solid axle truck that has basically a giant wall behind it. That would be my house. Now I get to do the less than desirable process of the front diff, which is far more involved because I have to pull apart everything. Not everything, but enough. Okay, here we go.
So that's not really too bad. It's about under 10 minutes to a side, so hopefully I can put it back together that fast. Probably not with trying to work my way around all the grease. This is like where 90% of the grease in the truck is contained within the front knuckles or hubs or whatever. So it's just a gooey job. It's not very fun, but it has to be done.
And that feeling crawling over me again, just like it happened, so still alive. There's a moment I felt his touch, I felt his guide.
Hey there folks, congratulations on making it to the end of this extremely long-winded shop time video. I left it long just so you get a good idea of what shop life looks like for me. Big shout out goes out to Ray at Haven Garage for letting me use your shop space and providing me with the tools and the opportunity just to do all of that work by myself. So big shout out to Ray. Go check him out. He builds bumpers and sliders and suspension and all kinds of things at a pretty affordable rate. So if you are in the lower mainland around Vancouver, Abbotsford area, go to him. He'll build you something real cool. As for what's coming up, there's still plenty of building to be done. I have yet to build a roof rack, mount solar, build a tire swing out, and finish out the interior of my living space. And after that comes a whole summer packed full of adventure. So if you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, maybe give me a like, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Until then, until the next video, stay cool, folks. Yeah, still working on that catchphrase thing. So anyway, later guys.